please, you have to listen to me. I'm Sinos, and this is my final explainer. I built these visual logs to show you the absolute end of everything. It's unfolding right before my eyes, right outside this very room. It's a cosmic apocalypse that I cannot longer hide from. I'm going to guide you through this, just like I always do, but you have to forgive me because my hands simply won't stop shaking.
The Dithyram, that wild, beautiful song of the spirit of becoming that used to echo through our reality, it's reached its final note. And now there's only a horrifying, absolute silence. My mind is screaming because I know exactly what this means. The contract written in disappearing ink has expired. The cosmic page is utterly blank for its arrival. The Maw is here, and I'm going to be consumed.
We thought the Crimson Mask was just a ritualistic bridge. We thought it was our connection. But the all-consuming Maw just cast it aside to force its way into our failing world. A ripple literally just tore through the chaotic broth outside my window. And in that tear, I saw it. A single, massive, floating eye. I watched it blink 1, 2, 3 times. That was the signal. It's truly here. I can barely breathe right now. There's this suffocating stench of burning ozone and radioactive decay. It's filling my lungs, burning my throat with every terrified gasp. The Maw is stepping through the tear right now, clad in violet robes and adorned with so many eyes. All of them are staring unblinkingly at the architect's stage play for the void. They're staring directly at me. An oppressive, freezing, dark shadow is blanketing everything. This surreal playhouse we thought was reality is plunging into pitch black. I literally can't move my legs. The physical vessel of the void is casting its shadow over me, and it's demanding its final, terrible sacrifice.
Which brings us to the first part of the end, the language of the crucible.
0. That's what it all meant. The absolute meaninglessness of the cynical test. My agonizing soul survived all of the trials, the architecture, the rigid laws, but for what? It all equates to absolutely nothing. I survived just to be here. At the end of everything, completely worthless. I'm looking down at my own body right now, and vibrant red runes are igniting my robes. They're literally burning into my flesh, pulsing with the Maw's language, the logic of the crucible. The agonizing discomfort in my soul, the Maw doesn't see it as a failure. It sees me as a savory ember. My resilience only makes me a better meal for its raw hunger. We really thought we were safe in the architect's stasis. We called them the gilded cages. But those illusions of safety are being peeled away right in front of me, like dead skin. I'm completely exposed. And what's left? This radioactive soup of dissolved logic. That's what our world is now. It's just a dining hall for the Maw. And the Apollonian gaskets. They were the mathematical seals, the final barriers meant to protect our reality. But they were never protecting us. The Predator was always waiting behind them to feast on the wreckage. Our immutable architecture, our entire existence, it was always intended to be a surreal playhouse for the void. We were always just food. And it gets worse in part 2, the rise of the shattered mind. Because the Maw isn't alone. A secondary horror is stabilizing its form right within the Maw's dark shadow. It's the entity of despair. A shattered mind of fluxing knowledge. It emits a cold, stabilizing frequency that hums in my very bones, plunging everything in a downward spiral into absolute negation. I can see it aligning its infinite weight with the Maw. It's happening horribly fast. In the first minute, whatever unextinguished spark of resilience you have left is captured. By the second minute, that spark is transformed into fuel for a new order. And by the third minute, a rigid, logical cage is violently reimposed upon you. The shattered mind is building a predatory script right upon the ruins of my own sanity. This leads into the third phase, the Creed of Negation. The dread is completely overwhelming. The Maw is authorizing this Creed of Negation, a slow, colorful death. The ultimate predator weaponizes the death of meaning itself. It ensures the void remains absolute, turning the beautiful spirit of becoming into nothing more than a prisoner of its infinite will. Everything that ever was is being weaponized to unmake itself. Which leaves us with part 4, the inevitable feast. I can hear it. The final words of the creed are being spoken out there in the dark. The architect's perpetual grave dance is being performed right now upon the dark, fertile ground of the void. The cynical test is resolved. The miracle with no meaning is being consumed. We're feeding a raw hunger that our frozen perfection could never, ever satisfy.
This is the hidden reality, the final revelation. Logic is just a discarded husk on the floor. I just have to accept my final fate. We're trapped in the synchronized labyrinth of the cage and the playhouse, and I'm watching, with every one of the Maw's eyes staring back at me as the very end arrives.
So, I leave you with one last question. As the universe accepts its place in the Maw's synchronized labyrinth, will you too quietly become its inevitable feast? The shadows are at my door. The runes are burning. There's nowhere left to hide.